September 10th, 2023. I'm Brian, WNBA Lean Show. It's Sunday. NFL's going today, but we got a ton of games in the WNBA. Wanted to shoot a quick video. Did pretty well the other day. Not sure if I got them all right, but I got a lot right, whatever I gave you. They were just suggestions. Obviously, if you did your homework and you bet those games, you did well too. I'm going to give you some thoughts on 4 of 6 games today. It's the biggest slate I've seen so far, 6 games in a day. Even though the NFL's going, they want to rattle off some games for these teams. I'm going to go into this real quick and just give you some thoughts. I'm not making any bets. I got a couple of bets in the NFL. I did spotty in college football yesterday, 1 and 2. I'm actually 500 flat for the season for all my free plays. We got to get better there. But listen, we're here today, WNBA. I don't have bets, but give me a subscribe, give me a follow right there. I'm going to go in 4 of these games. Let's start out with Dallas going into Atlanta. Now, this might be my favorite game of the day. When I was looking at this just a few minutes ago, I didn't go super deep, but I will tell you Dallas has covered the last 3, including 2 this year, where they beat Atlanta by almost the same score. So they were at home, Dallas Wings were, and they played Atlanta. Atlanta was on the road. Atlanta now is at home, and they're playing the Dallas Wings, and they're favored by 1.5, and I think that's good. I think that's a good number because I think Atlanta's going to win this game, and I think that they're going to win this game and cover this 1.5 just by looking at the number. Sometimes you can look at a sequence, and sometimes you get talked out of it. Sometimes it looks really easy. Sometimes it is that easy, and sometimes you look really easy, and it really isn't that easy. But I'm looking at it right now, and I see something pretty decent with Atlanta. Could I be wrong? Of course I could be wrong, but it looks like Atlanta could win and cover this game. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I would side with Atlanta. I'd look for a reason. If I'm you, I'm looking for Atlanta to win this game to justify this. Otherwise, why is Atlanta favored by 1.5? Dallas is a better team. They certainly are. It's like that. You know what I mean? So before I get off this game, I'm just going to tell you real quick that Dallas is 19-19 and 1 against the spread. Atlanta is 19-20 against the spread. Both of these teams are close. Dallas has 3 games over 500. Atlanta's 1 game under 500. So it's close. It's a legit number. I would look for Atlanta to cover the spread. Okay, going to Chicago at Connecticut, and it looks here like Connecticut's given up 10. If my numbers are wrong, they're wrong. I'm looking on covers, as I told you many times. Just so you know, look, Connecticut has covered 7 of the last 10, I apologize. 7 of the last 10, including 3 of them this year they've covered. This is their 4th matchup, the grudge match. Can Chicago come close to this team? I mean, it's possible. It's possible. But I will tell you this, and I've been wrong on Chicago all season, and I've been wrong on Connecticut a few times. But I think that Connecticut could probably cover the 10. If I'm looking at this game, and I don't see this game as well as I see the previous game, but if I'm looking at this game, I think I'm going to look for Connecticut to cover this spread. They've been dominating. I'm going to look for them to do that. So that's where I would look if I was going to bet in this game. Next game is the Indiana Fever at home getting 2.5 against the Minnesota Lynx. And I just want to tell you about this game. I looked at this game a little bit ago. It was interesting. Minnesota is 21-17-1 against the spread. Indiana 17-19-3 against the spread. So the lines have been pretty decent for Indiana here. Indiana did cover the last one. They beat Minnesota by 18. They were at home, same venue here. They beat them by 18 in the last matchup. Now, that matchup could have been Minnesota coming off a tough match, and they come in off a back-to-back or maybe 1-day rest and playing Indiana. I don't know the scenario in that. I would look, if I was going to bet this game, that's what I would check into. Hey, how did this last game go down? I would definitely do that. But what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the possibility of Indiana covering this again. So I would look and I would do some back tracing. I would look what happened in the last matchup. What were the series of events that led up to that? And why did Indiana cover that spread? That's what I would say. And then I would look again at this one, and then I'd say, okay, can Indiana cover another one? And it looks to me like they possibly could. They've been playing a little better lately anyway. They're catching 2.5 at home, total 163.5. I don't have any number on that. but I do think that it's a very good possibility that Indiana covers. But again, I'm not betting it. I'm not suggesting you bet it. I'm suggesting if you look at it, look for Indiana, look for a spot where Indiana might cover it, unless you're a big Minnesota Lynx fan and you just have a beat on Minnesota Lynx and you go the other way. So I'm just telling you my preferences when I'm looking at this so you have a flavor of what I'm looking at here. Okay, next game. Mystics at the New York Liberty. Now, this one's interesting because first of all, the Mystics are 17-21 against the spread. The Liberty 19-20 now against the spread. Both these teams sub 500 against the spread. That alone tells me it's a tough game to bet. If both of these teams are under 500 against the spread, it doesn't really give you an angle to go for. You can't really, say, okay, I'm going to go this team because this team's been winning. You can't really angle it that way. I will tell you that Washington has covered the last 4, so that would tell me this. I'm looking for New York Liberty to maybe cover this 9.5. I'm looking for the New York Liberty to come up over the top. They're a good team, and they're 19-20 against the spread. They're 32-7, and they're only 19-20 against the spread. Why haven't they covered more games? I might be looking for the Liberty to cover this game, and in fact, I'm just telling you that I discovered that that's where the angle that I'd be going to look for right now. So how would I do that? I'd look for their previous matchup. I'd look for numbers in their previous games, and I'd see, hey, can they win this game by 10? This number is coming off covers. Now, I'm going to wrap this video up real quick because I got to shoot a reel for the NFL. But the last 2 games, the LA Sparks and the Seattle Storm, I don't see a number up right now. It's early. There's no number on covers. And Phoenix and Las Vegas, look, I'm not gonna tell you what to do on that game. You know what to do on that game. If I told you to take Phoenix, you wouldn't do it. If I told you to take Vegas, you would do it. You do what you want to do on that game. I appreciate you watching. Good luck today in the WNBA and in the NFL. Give me a follow. I appreciate you.